Welcome, and thanks for rejoining our discussion about how you can become the successful bidder for your next house. This month we're deconstructing the acronym NEXT, and in the last 2 weeks we talked about N standing for nimble, which means you are super prepared financially and you have a strategy with your agent on how you're going to write an offer or view and write offers on your next house. And then we talked about the letter E, which means what extra things can you provide to the seller in your offer that will cause the seller to take your offer over any other competing offer. This week we're going to be talking about X, which stands for X-ray. Now the important thing about X-ray is that this is the way that you are going to inspect the home. Now first let me say that I would never recommend anyone to buy a house without doing an inspection. However, these days, the inspections need to be limited in terms of what you ask the seller to fix. So what's important about an X-ray? Well, when you get an X-ray at the doctor, they are looking at your bones, right? They're checking your structure to see if there's anything there that could be a problem now or in the future. So X-ray means that you're going to look at the home, the property, from top to bottom and do all of the inspections that you want to do. Now, when you discuss this with your agent, you should always reserve the right when you're doing as-is inspections to void the contract if you find something that you're not comfortable with or that's going to be too expensive for you to repair. So you'll sit down with your agent and you'll talk about all the different inspections that you can do. Typically, this will include doing structural and mechanical inspections. It will also include well flow and water quality if you are on a private well, as many homes in Maryland are. And you always want to do a full septic examination, which would include examining the tank, the fields, and a pump out of the tank if the inspector thinks it's necessary. Now, of course, this is only for homes that have a private septic system. You would not need to do these tests if you have a public septic system. Other tests might include radon, getting a chimney expert out to look at the flue and make sure the integrity of the chimney is still solid. And you're also going to want to take a especially hard look at your crawl space and your attic, because in our area with as much humidity as we have, you could have mold growing in both of those places. And the inspector who looks at your structure, your structural and mechanical inspector, should be able to look at both of those things for you. But you could also feel free to bring in someone who specializes in mold and crawl spaces and have them take a look. And if you want to do an extra thorough inspection of your heating and air conditioning system, you can get a heat and air conditioning company to come out and take a look. Because under the as-is inspection clause, you can do all the inspections that you want to do. However, you just do not ask the seller to make repairs. So after you do all of these inspections, you're going to sit down with your agent and your trusted advisors, and you're going to consider what it will cost to fix the things you feel need to be addressed right away. And then what can you do over time after you own the house and the cost of those things. And once you've done all of that, you can decide if the house is still worth what you will be paying for it every month. If it is, you move forward. If it isn't, you have reserved the right by the contract to void the contract. And so you are protected. So we hope you found this helpful. If you need more information or would like to discuss it with us, please feel free to reach out to me at the contact information below. And we'll talk with you next week about the last letter, which is T for timing. Talk to you then.